Hey guys, in this video we're going to set up weight for our items, and it will be classic RPG system that if you pick up too many items it will slow down your character. And we actually got system in place, so if you go to player blueprint and we got stats component, and here we got weight, so we can just change the max stat to 20, something loads so we can test it out. Now the issue we will have if you go to your tooltip and we got one of the stats that is we changing the max carry capacity pretty much, but we're using weight, and here we will have a weight of the item. It will be very confusing. So what we're going to do is go to blueprints, stats enumeration, and let's rename the weight to carry capacity. And that way on the stats it will say max carry capacity plus 10 or something instead of weight, which is much better. And then when we need to use weight, we can, we can actually change it because it's much easier. So now compile and save the player. Go to your items, item info S, and in here we will add new variable, just one. This will be weight, and it will be type float. Save it. Obviously you don't want to use the stats even though it's there, because then it would display as a stat and we don't want that. That just wouldn't look nice, and then it would be difficult to deal with it. So go to your player. Now what we need to do is go to our pickup function, pickup item, and here drag this down. Don't forget, while we're here we can also connect these new variables we created and never connected. And now since we have a return node with success here and return node with success here, we can just drag it here and we can put them together after. And now we can get our stats component and we will modify current stat. The stat we're modifying is carry capacity, and we just need to get the item info we have here as an input in pickup item. So you got it here as a variable, so copy it, paste it here, break it open, and we're going to now add the weight. So this is why these functions for stats now come in handy, because all we have to do is this, hold Control and paste and drag it here, connect it back, and now basically after we either create new item or add to the stack, we'll modify the current stat, so we will add the weight. Compile and save. And now we need to go to remove item. In here also we need to connect these unconnected values. And here, so same thing, we can drag from here, so we can get the stats component. We'll modify current stat value. The stat we're modifying is carry capacity. And now the value, so we do not have item info as an input here, but we're opening it and we're getting it. The problem is by the time we get here, we remove that index, so it will be empty. So what we can do is drag from this weight, promote to local variable. This will be local weight. We'll set it before here, before the branch. And then once we have it set, we can just get it here and connect it. Problem here, we are removing the item. So we're using this when we drop item or even equip it. So we cannot add another weight. We need to multiply this. So multiply, not subtract, multiply. by -1. That way it will be the negative value, so we'll remove the weight. Compile and save. Don't forget to connect this other pin, because from the both sides we need to just remove weight. Now we need to create one more function, and this one will be check weight. And what we will be checking is we don't need any inputs, we will just drag in the stats component and we will get current stat value. Then we will drag from this again, get max stat value. Both of the stats will be the carry capacity. And now we'll do branch, B and click, and check if the current stat is greater than max stat. And now if it is, then we will get character movement and we will set max walk speed, which is the speed of the character. Default value, if you check character movement and find the max walk speed, which is here, is 500. So if we are overweight, we will halve it, 250. And if we are not, then we will put it to normal 500. And now compile and save. We can add the return node here. So return node connected. Now compile and save. And now we need to call this function every time we change the weight. So back to pickup item. And we will do it after here. Check weight. And also remove item, and we'll do it here, check weight. We could do it in one function, this modify current stat and in check weight, but then we would need inputs and everything, and it's just easier. So compile and save. And also we need to check when we equipping the item, because when we equip item on a player, it shouldn't weigh down the inventory anymore because it's on the player. So, but we do have a remove item here function, and we already included the modify stat in the remove item, so it's all good. And same thing in a job item, we basically remove items. So now we need to set up the actual weight for all of the items. So go to data table, and now go. Let's create weight for iron axe. I'll just do it what I saw in some other games maybe. So do 5, iron sword will be 5, wooden club will be 8 because it's 200. Nope. Rock blade will be 4 because it's offhand. Helmet 3. Blade armor 12. Blade pants 8. Gloves 4, boots 4, and gold doesn't need weight. Save this. Now we need a way to display it. So if we go to our inventory, so widgets and inventory widget, in here we got this gold. So what we can do is just duplicate this, drag this after gold, make sure you leave enough space in case we are very rich. I also noticed this a little bit too high, so I'll move it tiny bit down. So I'll move position Y to 14 instead of 10. So I'll move this down as well by 4. And now this one is position Y 14, so I'll do this one 14. Then we'll click on text, we'll duplicate this and drag it here. So this one is position Y 16, this one will be 16 as well. And we'll change the icon. I don't have anything for weight just now, but I will add a link in the description so you can download something. I think I have one icon somewhere. Weight, it will be this weight icon that you can download, and just drag it to icons, and then I'll set it here. Weight icon. We don't need a tint for this. Oh, actually, we can. What would be a nice color for this? Just a little bit bluish, maybe. And now, I mentioned this, but we are binding text here. If you're going to bind weight as well, we will do it different ways. So what you can do is click on this text block, first one. We'll remove the binding. We will name this gold text, and we'll click is variable. We'll click on this one. This will be weight text is variable as well. Compile and save. And now we can go to graph, event graph, and now if you remember this build inventory, we're also using every time we refresh inventory, so it will run every time we update icon or we pick up item or remove item. So we can just set it here. So after this for loop is completed and our inventory icons are created, you can just get this gold text, drag from it, set text, and connect it here. The text will be, we need to get player reference, and we'll get gold. So it will display gold value. And now we will copy this one more time, this set text, and get this weight text and connect it here. And now drag this back. We need a little bit more space, because for weight we will drag from player reference, get that component, stats component. Actually it's just stats, not get stats component. Right, it's good. Stats component BPC. And now we will get current stat, and we will get max stat. It will be both of them carry capacity. And now we'll do my favorite append, which I'm using too much, I think. So append string. And what we will do is, I don't want this value as a float, so I don't want to have 2.0 and 14.0 and stuff. So I want to convert it to integer, because it doesn't look good if you have weight like that. And I haven't seen it in any other games. So what I'm going to do is drag from here and do to integer float. So we'll convert it to integer, both of these. And then we connect the first one here. We'll do / and connect this here. So we get current stat, so weight will be, I don't know, 6 out of 20, and connect it back here. Right, compile and save. That's our weight done, and we've done the gold as well in the process. And now we can also set it on our tooltip. So go to tooltip widget. This weight, let's just add new image, put it here in a canvas panel. Size will be 30 × 30. We will drag this somewhere here. We will have to change the price in the next video, because I'm trying to make this quite quick. So text doesn't need to be that big. We'll also make it smaller, so size 16. This one will be, this image will be the weight icon. Let's copy the color from inventory, designer, tint, right click. Actually, can we copy? and then tooltip and paste. There we go. Now, this text we will also, this text we can bind. We will fix the whole tooltip widget, and I will explain in one video the difference between binding and setting it. So for now we just bind it, create binding, because it's much easier and faster. We'll get the item info. No, what do we need? This is weight of the item. Yes, item info, break it open and connect the weight. Compile and save. And now we got both of those set. In our player we do have a max stat of 20. So now if you were to play the game, let's see if you don't need to reload the items in the world. Sometimes that happens. So now I don't see /, it's just one value. Maybe I didn't write it correctly. So in our inventory in graph, yeah, so here I wanted to add the /. Compile and save. Now if you were to play the game and open the inventory, you got gold and you got 0 out of 20 weight. Now you pick up some gold and you pick up armor, you got 12 out of 20, and you'd be picking up. And now the first issue arrives, is that our weight doesn't go past 20, and that is because when we're modifying our current stat, we are clumping it between current and the max stat, well, between 0 and a max stat, so it cannot go past it. So we need to change it. And other issue we will have eventually when we connect the stats for the items. On our pants we got carry capacity, and if we equip those pants and remove those pants after, and the carry capacity would go under 20, so let's say 10, this current stat would change as well to 10. So let's fix both of these. Go to player blueprint, stats component. We can't open it from here, so go to blueprints, stats component, and here we got modify current stat. So here you can see we are clumping it. So instead what we're going to do is promote this to local variable. This will be local value, and here we will do branch check. So B and click, connect it here, and we will be checking if the stat equals enumerator and equals carry capacity. This one you can disconnect. So drag this back. Now if it is equal to carry capacity, then we will just set this value from here, where we add this value to current stats, but we won't clump it and then add it here. But if it's not the carry capacity, we still need to clump it. So copy this value, paste it here, and we will drag from here and connect it back, and disconnect this and just connect it from local value. There we go. Compile and save. We can fix this while we're here. Hopefully this is the last thing that we will add to this function, but you know, I like to keep it organized. And now we can go to modify max stat. Now problem is if the max stat is smaller than the current stat, then it will change the current stat. So what we can do here is drag from here, and we'll do end boolean, and we will check if this stat this time is not equal to carry capacity, and connect it here. And what this does is these both statements need to be true in this end boolean. And so now if it's not equal carry capacity and it's greater than stat, it will change the stat. But if it is carry capacity, it will just set the max stat. It won't change the current stat. So compile and save. And now I think that's all we have to do. Now let's test it out. Pick up armor, 12 out of 20, keep picking up items, and suddenly I am walking. And now if you equip item, it should go down. That works. Now you go to 17 out of 20 and you're running again. Then equip 200, it's changing. It seems to be working correctly. Let's try the drop. We dropped it, it works. We destroy it, it works as well. We unequip it, it works as well. Perfect. And that's how we create weight system. So nothing else to it. In the next video we can probably fix the price as well. So we got everything here done on the tooltip, and pretty much maybe we can organize the inventory as well. And then obviously we need to make sure that when we equip the items, we are changing player stats and then display it. So that will be the whole separate video. Alright, thanks, I'll see you in the next one.